So it's the news we've all been waiting for, I think. Over the past few days, finally we've seen sodium-ion batteries go from concept to real commercial rollouts, and the CTO of the company has actually stood on stage and told us when it's going in some cars. So CATL, of course, their real name is Contemporary Amperex Technology Limited, the world's biggest EV battery maker, 38% global market share in 2025 last year. There are two big pieces of news that dropped in the last few days from 22nd to the 23rd of January. So on the 22nd of January, CATL introduced this new series called the Tianqing 2 battery series for light commercial vehicles, vans, small trucks, that kind of stuff. The standout is the low temperature sodium ion version, which is being called the first mass produced sodium ion battery in the world. So here are the specs that matter. It's a 45 kilowatt hour capacity for the sodium battery pack, which is usable. It's a little bit small, to be honest, but I would expect 100 or 80 or 60 or something like that. But they said it's for cities and that sort of stuff and driving in and around suburbs. Energy density, 175 watt hours per kilogram, which is roughly in the same ballpark as many lithium ion phosphate batteries already on the market. Life cycle, 10,000 cycles, meaning the battery should last a very, very long time before degradation becomes serious at all. Extreme cold performance, even at -40, the battery can retain 90% of its usable capacity, they say, and at -30, it still accepts a plug-in charge even when frozen. So that cold performance, of course, that's very interesting, and that's its big selling point, because lithium ion loses a lot more capacity and charging capability in deep cold without heavy thermal management and some heaters and that sort of stuff in there, which adds cost and it also adds weight as well and complexity, more things to go wrong. And remember as well, sodium is relatively a lot cheaper than LFP chemistry. Mining costs are orders of magnitude lower than lithium. Extraction cost could be something like 1/20th of lithium's, and that flows straight into lower battery dollars per kilowatt hours. So how does this tie into passenger EVs then? So the recent comments made by the CTO of CATL at a media event early this week, he said, CATL plans to begin equipping passenger vehicles or EVs with these sodium-ion batteries in Q2 2026, so roughly April through to June, starting with a model from the GAC-ion. So he's literally confirmed that it's going into a GAC-ion first. That's the first car with a sodium-ion battery from CATL in there. And CATL sodium-ion tech already passed China's new national battery safety standard called GB 380312025, if my memory serves me right. Yes, I do this every day. In late 2025, that test was done and it passed 120 kilometers per hour into a pole, basically. Very big milestone. And at the same time, CATL sodium battery packs under the brand Naxtra have been designed to hit 175 watt hours per kilogram and support fast charging and life cycle. So it's that chemistry, basically. So that energy density is comparable to LFP battery cells today, basically a little bit over BYD's actually, which means range becomes realistic for smaller and mid-sized EVs. Analysts of Asian companies and basically just things going on in Asia have even cited 500 kilometers of usable range for passenger sodium packs once fully built, put together. This is significant because for years the critique of sodium batteries has been great for storage, but not so good for vehicles. The energy density was not good enough, 120 to 140 watt hours per kilogram actually, but then the new CATL batteries are 175, which is brilliant. And that was only with 2 or 3 years worth of money and research put into them, and they went from 120 to 140 to 175. I think within a few years we'll see over 200. So why does this matter? There are 3 big implications here. So if CATL's rollout goes as planned, 1, cost reduction, because sodium is so much more abundant and cheaper to refine than lithium. A switch to sodium chemistry could lower battery costs significantly if scaled. So you could think, substantial savings on dollars per kilowatt hour for OEMs and various companies actually. 2, cold climate performance, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Canada, places like that. Those cold performance numbers retaining usable capacity and charging in sub-zero conditions, that's a real differentiator really in markets like Northern Europe and Canada, and also Northern China, very, very cold. The third thing, supply chain diversity. Of course, this means you can make them a lot easier than LFP chemistry in basically just all over the world with not too much political issues going on around you. So with lithium supplies tight and cobalt and nickel prices just volatile really all over the place, as we've seen for the last 5 years, sodium provides a second supply stream which can help buffer geopolitical and commodity price pressures in the battery ecosystem. I've said for a while, I don't think necessarily sodium-ion batteries are going to consume and just push to the side LFP chemistry. I think they're going to coexist for the next 5 years, somewhat harmoniously and quite well. So it's not just CATL as well. Other manufacturers like LG Energy Solutions are already moving into sodium batteries as well. They've got a pilot program running at the minute. Hopefully by the end of this year it'll be done. I'll give it a big tick. And so this signals really this is not a one-off bet, but a broader industry direction. Of course, if CATL can do it, the other big players can almost certainly do it as well. Caveats and the road ahead. There are still challenges. So right now, sodium-ion still lags the very best lithium-ion chemistries in the ultimate energy density tests. Basically, if you stack 60 to 80 kilowatt hours of sodium cells against 60 to 80 kilowatt hours of lithium packs, the sodium version will almost certainly weigh more than the very best in those domains. But at 175 watt hours per kilogram and 10,000 plus life cycles with excellent cold tolerance as well, that's brilliant. That's incredibly useful because it's slightly better than BYD's LFP batteries right now. Of course, there is the Gen 2 blade batteries that are 210 watt hours per kilogram. So if CATL really starts rolling passenger EV sodium batteries around April to June, mid 2026, this could become a parallel mainstream battery technology, not just a niche experiment. Probably an incredibly big year. I think so many people are waiting, the industry, not just people, are waiting for energy density to just pick up a little bit and to just knock these little issues off the head. EVs can suffer a little bit in winter, they really can. Energy density, not where it should be, really. We actually do want it to be 200, 250. That would be really good if that came one day in the next few years. And so once we've ticked off all the bad issues with batteries, it's a win. Basically, I think EVs are going to sell like crazy. And thank you for watching. I really appreciate all the channel members. These are the channel members. These are the people that have bought me a coffee or subscribed. Also, thank you to all of the people that just constantly comment stuff in the bottom of the videos. I read every comment and I think they're fascinating, and there's so many people with so many good things to say. Maybe a couple that don't, but almost all the comments are actually just positive. So I just think that's really brilliant because everyone's whinging about this on the internet. So many people have negative things going on in the comments. I get almost none of that, so thank you very much. I really appreciate that because I don't really want my videos and the comment sections to be miserable. However, I don't delete comments. That's your space to say what you like. I don't delete stuff. We've got freedom of speech, go for it. If YouTube flags it though, it will pull it to the side and put it into a category, and I don't check that category. Only every couple of months do I actually ever click on it and have a look. So I don't delete comments. YouTube pulls them aside and puts them there for me to inspect. But thank you for watching. You're very welcome to join on Patreon, join on YouTube members, and also there's Buy Me a Coffee. You literally can buy me a coffee, and I consume many coffees, and I will definitely go buy a coffee with it. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Have a brilliant week.